A bicycle accident can happen in seconds, but what you do after that accident can impact your health, your safety for the future. What do I mean by that? Well, there's 5 points that you need to think about after a serious bicycle crash. Number one, you should file a police report. So, for example, you're hit by a vehicle while you're riding your bicycle, which is much and more common nowadays than it used to be. In fact, there's way more bikes on the streets now than there used to be. There's more bike lanes. There's more people interested in health, and they're taking over the roadways. So we're going to see a lot more of these types of accidents. So be prepared for what happens after a bicycle accident. Number one, obviously, file a police report. Now, if the police don't come to the scene, and sometimes they won't if it's car versus bicycle. Typically, they'll come for a car versus car accident, but a lot of times they don't come in for a car versus bicycle accident. Is that going to stop your case? No. In fact, if there is no police report, that doesn't mean that you don't have a case. It's just that you want to make sure it's documented. So what I recommend you do is, number one, create a police report by going to your local police department if you've been hit by a negligent, reckless, or intentional hit driver, and file that police report and make sure that it's a record that this thing happened. The second thing you need to do after a bicycle accident is to seek medical treatment right away. Now, what I've handled a number of these bicycle accidents. First of all, there's shock that you're on the ground after a crash. You have no idea what happened. You don't know where the car came from, whether it was a backing car, an open door while you're going down the roadway, whether somebody hit you from behind. And a lot of times you're in some sort of shock. And the feelings of how badly you're injured may come on later. It's important that you go seek treatment immediately because insurance companies will seek to use the fact that you did not seek medical treatment against you. Now, that's a little bit crazy, but that's just the way it is in the real world. Plus, let's think about it. It's common sense for a medical professional to make sure that you're going to be okay after a crash. I had one case a few years ago where a woman was rear-ended. She walked out of the car and she started feeling dizzy, didn't really feel the full brunt of the crash, but then decided when she got home that she should go to the hospital. She went to the hospital and they did an MRI of her spine, and the neurologist and neurosurgeon told her that if she had not come in, that she could have been paralyzed because of how serious the cervical herniation of her disc was. So you can never be too sure exactly what's going to happen, so make sure that you seek medical treatment. Now, after you seek medical treatment, make sure that you continue to seek medical treatment as long as necessary to make sure that the problem is resolved. Usually, if it's a serious injury, you'll be referred to somewhat conservative treatment, either physical therapy or diagnostic tests, and you'll be having that type of thing until there's a time where that isn't helping anymore. And if it gets to that point, you may need future medical treatment. So number one, file a police report. Number two, seek medical treatment. Now, there's two types of things in a case that are important: liability and damages. The third thing you should do in a case is to make sure that you gather all of the evidence from the crash. That means you're documenting the scene. How do you do that? Well, number one, photograph the vehicle that was involved, photograph the damage to that vehicle, photograph your bicycle, photograph your injuries, photograph the scene of the crash. Make sure you look around the scene to see if there's any place that would have recorded that. Are there Ring doorbells in the area? Are there businesses that have cameras? Are there street lights that have cameras? Find out exactly where this happened. Find out if you can document the whole scene of that crash. Were there any witnesses? Make sure that you identify the witnesses, their addresses, their phone numbers. You want to make sure that you gather all that and then take all the photographs. First thing you do is you notify the police. Second thing you do is make sure you get medical treatment. Third thing you do is document the scene. And the fourth thing that you need to do is to notify your insurance carrier. Now, why would you notify your auto and your homeowners and carriers? Because there's potential insurance there. Why? Well, for your auto insurance, in some cases, if the driver of the vehicle was either uninsured or underinsured. Say you had a very serious crash with a vehicle and you're on your bike, you may be entitled to underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage. So putting them on notice immediately is important to find out exactly what your rights and liabilities are. The fifth thing you should do is contact an attorney that deals in these types of matters. Here at Shannon Law Group, we've handled a number of bicycle accident cases, mostly involving serious injuries. Because let's be real, when a vehicle, either a semi or a commercial vehicle or even an automobile, a 2,000 pound, 3,000 pound, 20,000 pound vehicle runs into a unguarded bicycle, there's some bad circumstances. We've had some cases where there's been serious, horrendous injuries. Those types of cases, if you're not talking with an attorney in the few weeks or days of the crash, you're going to have serious problems because they're going to have people that are all over that. You see, insurance companies that insure either commercial vehicles or semis or regular vehicles, State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, they're in the litigation business. That's all they do is defend negligent or reckless drivers. And the first thing they're doing is doing exactly what I told you to do before. They're documenting the scene. They're taking photographs. They're finding the videos. They're doing all those types of things, but they're working for their interests. They're not working for your interests. What you got to do is make sure that you hire somebody that will level the playing field. That's one thing that I've been very proud about representing people is I'm able to level the playing field with the defense. I used to work for insurance companies. I used to work for big companies, and I protected them zealously. I made sure that we didn't pay one dime more than we owed for a crash. And it hurt me when I saw that the plaintiffs that were involved in these crashes were not represented, or they had a very poor representation that really didn't know what they were doing. If you hire a lawyer, make sure they know what they're doing, make sure that they're motivated to help you, and make sure that you can recover every penny that you deserve in a bicycle crash. Another reason to contact an attorney in a bicycle case is because it costs you nothing to do so. Typically, a personal injury law firm will have a free consultation for you. Here at Shannon Law Group, we do that all the time. People initially consult with us. We sit down with them. We tell them their rights, their obligations with their own insurance companies. And if we are hired by you, we don't get paid unless you win. Typically, the way it works is that we will enter an agreement with you where we will front the expenses of the litigation, which can be extensive, and then you pay that back to us at the end of the case through the insurance company money, not through your own money. So follow those 5 steps, and you should be in a good space after a bicycle crash. We offer a free consultation for bicycle accidents. All you need to do is contact us at 312-578-9501. We'll be happy to meet with you and discuss your bicycle accident case.